A warm welcome to all of you. Today, I'm going to introduce a new paper in MBA second semester, which is Business Research Methods. So, what is the basic purpose to introduce this specific paper in MBA second semester? Because problem to a specific area, it is common in all department. Because see, a problem in human resource department, a problem in production department, a problem in finance department, even a problem in systems department. A problem is common phenomena in every organization. So when it is an organization, from morning to evening, we will come across a number of problems. For every problem, there will be a solution. Until unless we never come up with the best possible solution to a particular problem, then it is very tough to run an organization. So if we want to run an organization in a systematic manner, what we need to do is, whatever the problems that we will come across from morning to evening in all sorts of the departments, in HR department, finance department, marketing department, production department, in all sorts of the department, whatever the problems that we will come across, we should be in a position to take up an effective decision making. Until unless we will never come across a best possible solution to a particular area, it's very tough to run an organization. So it's very tough to run an organization. So that's the reason why a business research. So that's the reason why all times a business research will start with a broad problem identification. So business research will start with a broad problem identification and ends with a best possible solution. Ends with a best possible solution. Over in the process, there were different stages will come into the picture. There are different stages will come into the picture in the entire research process. So as the problem identification, a research will start with a broad problem identification, followed by the review of literature. The review of literature will tell us about collecting a problem related information from past years. Collecting a problem related information from past 10 to 15 years will give us a clear insight about that particular problem area. Collecting from past 10 to 15 years related to that particular problem area information will give us a clear insight related to that particular problem area. Then it is later on we can able to take effective decision making. So that's the reason why in business research, research will start with identification of a broad problem area, followed by a review of literature. A review of literature will tell us about collecting a problem area information from past 10 to 15 years will give us a clear idea about that particular problem. Later on, we are trying to set up a hypothesis. The hypothesis, as we know, we learned about a hypothesis in MBA first semester. The hypothesis comprises of null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis, followed by we will try to collect the data from various sources. In fact, the data sources will fall under two different areas: the primary data sources and the secondary data sources. The collected data has to be tabulated in a systematic manner. The collected data has to be kept in the form of rows and columns. Later on, we will try to analyze the data with the help of various statistical tools. Later on, we will try to analyze the data with the help of various statistical tools. As we know, the various statistical tools comprise of descriptive statistics and inferential statistics, followed by findings, suggestions, conclusion, and reporting. So this is what the process of business research will take place. So when it is a business research will have a systematic procedure from the point of problem identification to the end of the best possible solution, right? So in fact, the business research, it's not belongs to a specific discipline. The business research, it belongs to all disciplines because it is a holistic in nature. The problem identification or the area of problem that we can able to see in all departments, like we can see in engineering, we can see in science, we can see in psychology, sociology, philosophy, even the business problems we can see in commerce, even the business problems we can see in arts. So the area of research, it never belongs to a specific area. The area of research that we can able to see in all areas. So that's the reason why a research, it's never belongs to a specific area. A research will belongs to almost all areas. Almost all areas. So that's the reason why wherever there is a problem, then automatically we need to conduct an in-depth research over there. Ultimately, we need to come up with a best possible solution. A best possible solution, right? So a business research starts with a broad problem identification and ends with a best possible solution. At the middle, a business research will have a systematic process from the point of broad problem identification to the end of the best possible solution. We will see the various definitions which has been given by the various others. Suppose if you can see here, a definition it's being given by McDaniel. Business research is the planning, collection, and analysis of data relevant to business decision making and the communication of the results of this analysis to the management. So what is this business research will talk about? It is a business research, it's all about the planning. Planning will tell us about what? Deciding in advance what should be done in the future. Guessing in advance what should be done in the future, right? So a business research, it is a plan of action, right? When a problem has been encountered, we should have a plan of action and we should be able to generate a best possible solution to that particular problem. So for generating a best possible solution, we should have a plan of action. A plan of action will tell us about what? Deciding in advance what should be done in the future, right? So in overall, the McDaniel definition speaks about a business research. It is a systematic plan of action and the collection of data and analysis of data and taking effective decision making and communicating the results of the analysis to the top level management will fall under the concept of business research. In fact, this is what we will do even in companies also. So what this business research will do, in a sense, it is a plan of action. We need to guess in advance what should be done in the future related to that particular problem area, and related to that particular problem area we need to collect the data. As we know in statistics how to collect the data, in the sense with the help of primary data sources and secondary data sources. We need to collect the data from various sources, and this collected data we need to analyze. So what is the way to analyze the collected data? So for analyzing the collected data, we have two different kinds of statistics. That's what we call descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. With the help of descriptive statistics and inferential statistics, what we will try to do over here, in the sense we are trying to analyze the data. When you try to analyze the data, you will get a best possible solution. Otherwise, you will get a series of solutions and alternative solutions. When you are having a list of alternative solutions in your hand, what you will try to do with respect to cost, time, advantages, disadvantages, pros, cons, positives and negatives, you are trying to take a best possible solution. You're trying to take a best possible solution. And this best possible decision making, you are trying to communicate to the top level management for implementation process. So a business research, it is all about identification of broad problem area, followed by the data collection and the data analysis, and a decision of a particular problem and communicating it to the top level management will fall under the concept of business research as per the McDaniel. And even the Sigmund also has given what exactly the concept of business research. Business research is a management tool that company use to reduce uncertainty. It's manage a source of information about organizational and environmental conditions and covers topics ranging from long-range planning to the most empirical tactical decisions. So even in fact, when it is a business, as we know that problems are the common phenomena. When problems come into the picture, we should be in a position to take up effective decision making related to that particular problem area. So with the help of this business research, we can able to overcome the uncertainties are existed in the business. We can able to overcome the uncertainties in the business. When you want to overcome the uncertainties existed in the business, as and when the problem has been raised, we should be in a position to take up an effective decision making. So that is what the concept of this business research. Even in fact, the business research will speaks about when it is a business research, it has to be answered for 5 different kinds of questions. What, when, where, how, and who. What was happening and where it was happened, how it was happened, right? Who is the culprit behind this, and who has done this particular activity, and who is the reason behind this particular incident. When you can able to answer for these kind of questions, then automatically we can able to get a best possible solution. So I'm repeating, right? What was happening, what was happened, how it was happened, where it was happened, when it was happened, who is the culprit behind this, who is the culprit behind this. When you can able to answer for these kind of questions, automatically you can able to get a best possible solution to a particular problem area. Suppose unexpectedly a small accident was happened in inside of the manufacturing unit. A small accident was happened and a few employees, they are injured, right? As per our philosophy, when it was happened, where it was happened, how it was happened, right? And who is the culprit behind of this. When you can able to pose this kind of questions to that particular problem area, then automatically you can come up with a best possible solution to that particular problem area, right? Even now you can see a COVID-19, it is being taken place in December 2019, a pandemic, an influenza. Now around 140 plus countries, they are conducting research on this to introduce a best vaccine for this particular disease, right? To introduce a best possible medicine to this particular disease, right? Now here is also a scientific investigation is happening. A scientific investigation is happening. Unless otherwise, when we do not conduct a research in this particular area, it's not possible to come up with a best vaccine for COVID-19 and a best possible solution to a particular disease. So that's the reason why in business research, especially, the major priority and the main emphasis it is being given to the scientific investigation. The scientific investigation. Even in social sciences also, we are trying to conduct a research. In social science researches, we are trying to conduct a research with the help of survey methods. As we know, the survey methods includes 3 types, right? A survey method to collect the data from the respondents. A survey methods includes questionnaire, interviews, and observations. With the help of these 3 things, we can able to conduct a social science research. But whereas this scientific research, it's more, we should have a more scientific evidence. We should have a more scientific, what we can call a more scientific evidence, a more scientific evidence. Unless otherwise, when we are not having a scientific evidence in scientific research, such kind of research we will never accept. When someone says, I conducted a research, this is what the outcome of a specific research. In such kind of researches, basically, we should have a scientific evidence. A scientific evidence. That's what we call an empirical research. That's what we call an empirical research. The empirical research will speaks about we should have a scientific evidence to any kind of research. Any kind of research. So this is what the basic definitions behind a business research. So a business research will speaks about it is a systematic plan of action. It is a systematic plan of action from the point of identification of broad problem identification, and we need to have a clear planning. A planning will tell us about a clear picture in advance what should be done in the future. So how to take a step to come up with the best possible solution or a best possible decision to a particular problem area. So for this one, what we are trying to do here, in a sense, we are trying to collect the problem related information. So the problem related information will be collected on the basis of primary data sources and secondary data sources. The primary data sources can also be called as the first hand information, where a researcher will try to collect the data with his own efforts. The sources of primary data sources includes questionnaire, interviews, and observations. The secondary data sources, are the data sources which is already collected by someone, may be kept in any form. A secondary data sources are the sources which is already collected by someone, may be kept in any form, like textbooks, reference books, authored books, newspapers, magazines, pamphlets, brochures, testimonial records, internet sources, government reports, state government reports, central government reports, budgets, and sales data, accounts data, company audit data. So all these things will fall under various types of secondary data sources. So for coming up for a best possible solution to a particular problem area, we should have a huge amount of collected data, and this collected data in future courses, it will be tabulated, and the tabulated data will be analyzed with the help of descriptive statistics and inferential statistics. Ultimately, we are coming up with the best possible solution. So these are the various concepts related to the business research. In fact, whatever the sophisticated gadgets, whatever the advantages, whatever the benefits, whatever the tools, whatever the machines, and whatever the equipments that we are enjoying today, like smartphones and IoT, and whatever the sophisticated things that we are enjoying today, it is all about the outcome of research. It is all about the outcome of research. Unless otherwise, when we do not conduct a research in any area, right, it is not possible to come up with new inventions. It's not possible to come up with new inventions. So for coming up with a new inventions and a new thoughts, new philosophies, and a new existence, it's all about the base of research. It's all about the base of research. So as and when we conduct a research in a specific area, then automatically we can come up with a best possible solutions. So that's the reason why, unless otherwise, when we do not conduct a best possible research, it's very tough to come up with a sophisticated things in the contemporary world. Sophisticated things in the contemporary world. So that's the reason why the business research plays a very crucial role, even in functions of management, in functional areas of management like HR, finance, marketing, production. It's not belongs to a specific area. It belongs to all areas of a business, because the problem is common in all areas. Suppose you can talk about the human resource management, the employee related problems are different. Like the problems of employees, like employee job satisfaction, employee payroll issues, employee performance assessment related problems, employee training and development related problems, and employees recruitment and selection related issues. When you come to the production, the quality aspects of the product, and the quality maintenance and the quality issues, and production schedules, and plant maintenance, and the material quality, and material cost estimation, and production shifts. All these kind of issues that you can able to see in production aspects. When you come for the marketing aspects, in marketing aspects, ultimately we can able to see the customer issues, the customer satisfaction, the customer dissatisfaction, the consumer behavior, the consumer attitude, and the customer tendency towards a particular product, and the customer satisfaction, all the areas related to the customer related aspects. But when it comes to even in the finance also, the research plays a very crucial role. Estimation of the company position, whether long-term investments, the short-term investments, and the budget calculations, ratio calculations, and funds flow analysis, and the capital budgeting, investments, and the ratio analysis, and all these things will place a very crucial role even in financial management also. So that's the reason why the research, it never belongs to a specific department. Research, it is holistic in nature. A best possible research, even we can able to see in engineering aspects, the technology aspects, even in in medicine, and in medicinal sector also, the research plays a very crucial role. Now whatever the medicines that we are having today, and whatever the sophisticated technology, the surgical aspects, and radiotherapy and whatnot, all these things are the outcome of a specific research. So that's the reason why the business research plays a very crucial role, especially in the business research management. This research will give a better possible solution to a specific problem area. So that is what the concept of business research. Now, when we talk about a nature of a business research, the nature of a business research will speaks about, it is a systematic activity. As we know, a research, it is a systematic activity. It from the point of problem identification, we should have a clear vision in advance. We should have a clear planning in advance. So based on that, we will have what should be done in the future. It is a systematic process. Problem identification, review of literature, data collection, data analysis, findings, suggestions, conclusion. It is a systematic process. So that's the reason why research, it is a systematic process, right? And it is a logical process. Unless otherwise, when we do not have a logical evidence in any research, evidence in any research, then such kind of research we will never accept it. So when it is a research, you should have proof, a logical evidences of a particular activity. Unless otherwise, when we do not prove a particular research with respect to logic and evidences, then we will never accept the outcome of that particular research. So that's reason why a research, it is a logical process and iterative process. The name itself, it indicates research. Research will tell you search again and again, search again and again, search again and again, until unless to come up with the best possible solution, until unless to come up with the best possible decision making. Even it may take months, even it may take years, and even it may take decades also, right? Until unless we need to walk over there to come up with the best possible solution. So that's the reason why research, it is a iterative process. Iterative process in the sense we have to do repeatedly. It is because when you do not come up with the best possible solution, what you have to do over there, you have to conduct the same research again and again, up to when you come up with a best possible solution to that particular area. So based on empirical evidences, that is what the empirical evidences will tell us about the scientific evidence, right? Unless otherwise, when a particular research do not come up with a scientific evidence, the outcome of the research we will never take up. When we want to take up the outcome of a research, we should have a scientific evidence in scientific research. When it comes to a social science research, whatever the data that we have been collected with the help of questionnaire and observations and interview, that kind of evidences is must and should. That's the reason why evidences in research plays a very crucial role. Unless otherwise, when we do not have a scientific evidences or observable evidences, the scientific evidences or observable evidences, all these things are essential. Unless otherwise, when we do not have, it's very tough to come up with the best possible solution. And controlled in nature, the controlled in nature will speaks about, so as and when, as we know, the research will start with a broad problem identification. So what our controlling in nature in the sense, right? The controlled in nature, certain issues and problems can be controlled and certain things which cannot be controlled. Suppose employee absenteeism in the organization. So controlled variable it is. Why it is a controlled variable? It is employee absenteeism. What are the reasons behind employee absenteeism identified? Whether it is poor salary and poor environment and poor working conditions. When you come across something, there is a reason behind employee absenteeism. When you identify it, when you rectify it, automatically you can see more employee turnover. So you can overcome that particular problem, the employee absenteeism, right? It is a controlled variable. Because of you can control that particular problem, you're having certain control techniques in your hand to control that particular issue, right? But all problems are not controlled in nature. Certain problems can be controlled because you are having control techniques in your hand. By doing something, you can overcome that particular problem. But all sorts of problems are not like that. So that's the reason why, by conducting a thorough research over there, we can control the situation. We can bring the situation in our control. The outcome, the solution, a best possible decision making to that particular problem. So that is what we call the controlled in nature. So here, this extent I am trying to stop. I hope you understand this particular session, and thank you.